This video is called It's Time to Be Honest About Atlanta. Now, Atlanta's one of the best cities in terms of hip hop, in terms of music output, in terms of influence, a lot of things, right? But a lot of things a lot of things have been happening in Atlanta recently. And let's just go ahead and talk about it, man.
Atlanta right now is really going to war with itself. We got everybody beef with everybody. We got Thug getting snitching allegations thrown them. It's looking real rough for the city. And it's like every 20 minutes, more phone calls coming out of Young Thug in jail, speaking crazy about this person or that person. I mean, the clip just dropped to him talking down on Kendrick Lamar, saying that Kendrick will never be bigger than Drake back in 2023 for not giving him a feature.
You're too big. I don't want to do no feature. Why? Why you don't want to do no feature? Why wouldn't you want to do a feature for a superstar, Lil Baby, Thug, real superstar, call you for a song? Why wouldn't you do the song? We lit. Going number 1, 2. Supposed to be a blessing. That's why it'll never be bigger than Drake ever in life.
So right now, it's like every artist got something to say about Atlanta, and it makes sense because Atlanta done ran rap for so long, 20 years, probably more. Atlanta been the face of hip hop. Think back to the early 2000s, Jeezy, Andre 3K, Gucci Mane. We had all of these different artists making this real impactful music for hip hop during this era. 2010s came around, same thing, but like times 10. Every big rapper just so happened to be from Atlanta, or at least has some ties to the city. Remember back what Kendrick said about Drake? That man from Canada, yet he running to Atlanta for a bag. But for the past few years, Atlanta been in a real rough place. People been real skeptical of Atlanta, and it's still something there that was much bigger than the music. You know, Rico's against all these rap groups, all these rap labels, and that kind of sent Atlanta into a frenzy. They was in full panic mode for a while. And just like with all this rap drama going on, Young Thug was at the face of like this new Rico wave back in 22, and they started to try to make an example out of everybody. Thug was like their first pick, so people kind of pointing fingers at Young Thug for how Atlanta is right now, especially with him having a part to play with the whole city basically turning against each other. So what's really going on in Atlanta?
Tell me, sir, what is going on in Atlanta?
To start, you gotta really understand Atlanta, the black capital, the black mecca of America. Like I said, been running rap for a long time, and it's done birthed so many different black artists, rappers or not, other genres, filmmakers, and it really does make sense when you actually look into Atlanta. Atlanta, you know, is black as hell, that contributed so much to black culture, but it wasn't always like this, and it's a history lesson time right now. There was a point in time where, like most places in the U.S., Atlanta wasn't overly black. 99% of the black population was enslaved. Not only that, but Atlanta actually had a big part to play in the Confederacy and the Union. They was going at it back in the 1800s. Atlanta was a huge cause in the Confederacy, and the Union ain't like that. And it got to a point where the Union got some power, and they made it this.
You see why I like videos like this, bro? You get some random history knowledge, bro. I low-key zoned out, but let me rewind, because this guy low-key might teach me some shit that could come in handy randomly, bro.
Was enslaved. Not only that, but Atlanta actually had a big part to play in the Confederacy and the Union. They was going at it back in the 1800s. Atlanta was a huge cause in the Confederacy, and the Union ain't like that. And it got to a point where the Union got some power, and they made a decision to burn all of Atlanta. And at this point, Atlanta had kind of became a clean slate. And all of this is important because it got ties to the black rise of Atlanta. So fast forward to after the Civil War, after the burning of the city, all these newly freed slaves, all these black veterans would make a move to Atlanta, really building that black foundation out there. Now that don't mean that shit was easy or smooth, cause nigga, we know how times was back then. But that was the start. The black population was growing, you know, they built some black churches, some HBCUs, stuff like that was getting placed around that area. And with time, Atlanta would grow. But where everything would really change and we would see it start to become the Atlanta we know today was really back during the 70s. More specifically, 1971. Atlanta had their first black mayor elected, Maynard Jackson. And what he did for Atlanta in the black community was huge, and hip-hop probably wouldn't be the same today without this nigga. This man came to Atlanta, he became the mayor, and he boosted the minority business population in that area by a lot. And it opened up so many doors for black people all across Atlanta. One article on the topic wrote this: the nation's largest black-oriented lifestyle magazine, Ebony, covered Atlanta, among other southern cities. In an issue on black quality of life in the South, the magazine declared that Atlanta was the black mecca because black folks have more, live better, accomplish more, and deal with white folks more effectively than anywhere else in the South or North. This city pushed black institutions of higher education, black businesses, rich black civic and social organizations, black religious leadership, and even the expanse of black middle-class neighborhoods that were built, developed, financed, and occupied by African Americans. So Maynard became mayor. And he opened a lot of doors, a lot of black opportunities. And with these opportunities came the rise of music in Atlanta. And without digging into every single act that's done came up over these years, just know with that push, Atlanta became Atlanta, the Atlanta that we know today. And leading up to the mid-1990s, early 2000s is when we would see...
For y'all who are coming in here and are popping in, like, what are we watching? We're watching a video called It's Time to Be Honest about Atlanta, and we're talking about... He started off with the Young Thug stuff, got into the Rico case, and then he's given a bit of context. So for y'all who are confused, that's where we are at. And then we're going to get back into some more hip-hop shit, but he was just giving some context.
Like Atlanta really started to take over hip hop. Think about when Outkast came out back 95, pushing the South all over the country.
I'm tired of folks, you know what I'm saying? Them closed-minded folks, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got a demo tape and don't nobody want to hear it, but it's like this, the South got something to say. That's all I got to say.
Billboard were right. Atlanta is not only a hub for hip hop, it's a cultural ecosystem. What the world needs to understand is that the city is no longer defined by one genre or one era. There's an explosion of genre blending from R&B to alternative sounds to Afro influences, and it's all rooted in Atlanta's authenticity. I'd like you to heard about this video. Atlanta became a giant. And even though I can't speak on every important Atlanta figure, I can speak on how much of a chokehold Atlanta held on the industry. Think about the early 2000s, like I said at the start of the video. We had so many Atlanta artists taking over the game. Usher, for example, not a rapper, but he was still a big name, pushing Atlanta onto the masses.
Damn.
Making Atlanta...
I had no idea this guy was from Atlanta. That is crazy. That is a big name.
Actually acceptable in the overall mainstream sound, and the pressure Atlanta was applying onto the industry, onto the whole country. In 2010s, we would see even more of that Atlanta rise. We had Migos, QC, Quality Control, a label that pushed so many important artists in modern day rap. Lil Baby, for example, signed with QC back in 2017. Y'all seen how big he became. At one point in 2020, Lil Baby was probably the biggest rapper. Everybody loved Lil Baby. Now, is that conversation still the same today? I don't know. And this also kind of reflects back on the whole Atlanta topic. Lil Baby, he came up, he was once loved. Now you talk about Lil Baby, people be like, you know, the whole conversation surrounding Lil Baby is completely different than what it once was. We done seen that man go from the highest highs to, you know, having to cancel whole tours, barely able to sell tickets, to bad receptions to his albums.
The fall of Lil Baby just has to be like studied. I literally, I'm like so flabbergasted by like this guy's career, what he's done with like his life. And the only thing I could really chalk it up to, this was the moment, in my opinion, that we lost Lil Baby. Okay? The moment this happened, we lost that nigga. Now, you're going to think that I'm being funny when I say that this is the moment we lost him. But we should analyze. We're seeing rappers who love to call themselves bosses, this and third. They talk usually in third person about how great they are. They come from impoverished backgrounds. They're from the streets. They're from the hood. They're super macho, this and third. Once they start hanging with a certain crowd in Hollywood, they all become emasculated. They all become feminized. They all become almost damn near like servants for said dudes, and they never kind of come across as the same afterwards. The authenticity that they usually display to the audience, that people gravitated towards them, it just stops. It's just never the same. That's happening, if you ask me, with Lil Baby.
And I mean, we done seen a lot of Atlanta, you know, take over the game. 2016, Damn. Savage, Lil Yachty, two Atlanta niggas that was on the most iconic XXL freshman list of all time. And then Lil Yachty really turned his whole career around, which I done made plenty of videos on this nigga. Y'all know how I feel about Yachty. Yachty came out, you know, his music might not have been the best, but he really turned his whole image around. Another Atlanta nigga, Cardi. Now, it ain't no argument with Cardi. You know, a lot of people feel weird about Cardi. They see Cardi and they're like, oh, this is weird nigga. He got on the mic, he scream. You know, this ain't my type of music. Bias aside, if we talking about right now, Cardi might be the face of hip hop. That's one of the biggest artists right now. I mean, the nigga just dropped an album that did 300K first week. It's an album that's still in people rotation to this day. And then we have the whole industry co-signing Cardi. You see Cardi in the weekend all the time. Cardi and Lil Baby got a song finna drop. Cardi Young Thug, Cardi Future, Cardi Travis. Everybody.
Oh my gosh, you didn't even mention Future yet.
Everybody want Cardi on their songs. They want Cardi on their album. And guess where he from? Atlanta nigga.
He ain't even mentioned Future yet, bro. That's another big name. He didn't even mention Metro. Actually, I think Metro moved to Atlanta. I don't think he's from Atlanta, to be real. I think I heard that recently.
But I think past the music and past everything, it was the worst thing that happened in Atlanta was a few years ago, back when they made an example out of Young Thug with the Rico case. See, back when Thug and YSL got hit with that Rico, I was wearing just on YSL. I was wearing just on Young Thug. I was wearing on everybody. I vividly remember at that time, it was news circulating all over the internet with a whole list of different rap groups and different rap labels that was getting watched for Rico, that had Rico claims through on them. It was a lot of people, you know, going in panic mode after seeing what happened to Young Thug, because like, damn, maybe I'm next. And I mean, people were so afraid that niggas was basically rearranging their whole career. Think back to Lil Baby. What was Lil Baby repping this whole time he was coming up? He was so 4PF. Nigga, I'm 4 pockets full. He had the chain. He throwing up the 4. He doing all of that. And then when Young Thug got hit with this Rico, Lil Baby just abandoned that. Lil Baby threw 4PF out the window and rebranded himself, which was an amazing move. That nigga was not playing with his life. He seen what happened to Thug. He learned from his mistake. He said, okay, I'm not even going to push that no more. So he came out. He rebranded himself as Glass Window Entertainment. And his reasoning behind it was just what I said. I built 4PF and niggas wasn't moving how I wanted them to move. He felt like he could have been possibly dragged into some problems, so he abandoned it.
4PF took Glass in. And obviously
Glass Window.
And it's obviously came with what's the difference? What is? I'm sure I don't know if you've ever spoken on that.
Like can't be with his way of life.
Right.
It's not a label. It's not a nothing. It's not a nothing. It's a way of life. You know what I'm saying? If you on your shit, like okay. I mean, girls say they can't be with everybody. It's just that way of life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And of course, 4 Pockets 4 had to come to an end. You know what I'm saying?
You said course. You said course.
Because all this to be going on. And I had to start learning that the people ask you, I can be held accountable. I ain't know all that at first. You know what I'm saying? I never would have went that route, but I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? Now that I know, I'd be a fool to just keep the same thing going. You know what I'm saying? They trying to make something out of something that it ain't. Like if I got any kind of control, like, hey, we're gonna switch that whole thing up. It ain't even just about the police or it's just period. You know what I'm saying? I never was supposed to make my label something that I talk about. Because who I am, even like now, the young guys when I meet them and new artists who gonna start their own label, I'm telling them, hey, start your label with something that don't got nothing to do with nothing or nobody but your artist. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nobody ain't tell me that. I ain't know nothing about that. I ain't really understand it. So now I'm telling them like, hey, if you gonna start your label, don't call your label the same thing you call your crew or your homeboys who grew up together. Y'all don't do that. Because the way they trying to set it up as a system, they gonna try to use it as a game. You know what I'm saying? And it's really to like target. And there's some people who do act as gangs. So I get it, but that ain't everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And what's so ironic, I got 4 Pockets full from my roommate in jail. Right? I used to make him rap for me. And one time he was like 4 Pockets full. And I'm like, what the hell that come? I'm like, what that is? He like, yeah, it's just something he saying like 4 Pockets full. That's how I even became a rapper. Like I've been running around 4 Pockets full for real. I always had 20 bands on 5 racks in each pocket, like on the bad day. Right. So to me, that was just my way of life. Like, I love that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's my slogan. I always had slogans like, cause it just give you a motivation. Like,
Pretty much that whole Rico situation shook Atlanta, scared everybody. Even if niggas wasn't panicking about it in public, the whole city was in panic mode because Fonnie Willis, 12, they was watching. And Fonnie Willis is a very interesting character. That was a key player in the whole YSL trial, a key player in basically turning the city
I do remember his face. This girl was hungry. This girl was hungry for destruction, bro.
against each other. Right now, we looking at Atlanta, and they is in a full-blown war with each other. Everybody from Atlanta is saying this. Everybody from Atlanta is saying that. We got niggas not even wanting to claim Atlanta no more. Look what Waka Flocka just said. He said, man, I'm not from Atlanta. Don't ask me no questions. So we have all of these different artists just going against each other, and it really kind of started with Young Thug. Young Thug and YSL, Young Thug and Gunna. Y'all done heard this situation a million times. Gunna, YSL, Young Thug, YSL. YSL got hit with Rico. Gunna took the alpha plea. Thug ain't like this. Thug went in full crash out mode from prison. Everybody in the industry cut off Gunna. The whole world turned on Gunna overnight, and you know, we had Thug right there basically encouraging him. He like, man, this nigga right. Don't associate me with no Gunna. Don't talk to me about no Gunna. I don't mess with Gunna. And so, fast forward to, you know, Gunna gets out. He dropped smash hits. Gunna's this huge artist, but he's still not getting no industry support. Then we looked at Young Thug. Young Thug wasn't really doing a lot from jail because the nigga was in jail. He was in prison. Then he gets out, and instead of feeding the streets, like I said in my last video, Young Thug got out and he was just on bad timing. He was embarrassing himself. He was trying to turn even more.
See, that's the problem, and like I don't understand this, and like everyone's made this point, but like I definitely agree, and I want to speak on it, but he definitely should have like released music as soon as he got out. Like everybody and their mama was waiting for Young Thug music, me included. And like the fact that he's made us wait this long, I think he got released last year in like October, November-ish, so it's almost a year since he's been out, and it's like no music aside from features. It's like, bro, what are you doing? Actually, no, he did drop one song. He dropped a single, but like that single was mid, bro.
This I hate rat.
And Future carried low key.
So heavy since he got out of prison. Even in prison, he was hating rats. But now that all this footage that came out of Young Thug, talking to the cops, telling them, you know, I'll tell you whatever you want to know, just don't tell the world. Now niggas just like, maybe Young Thug was projecting this whole time. Maybe he was the problem. And then after that, it was kind of like a trickle-down effect. That interrogation footage got leaked. Now every single call Young Thug done took from prison is getting leaked. Young Thug on the phone gossiping, Young Thug talking about this, Young Thug dissing this nigga, that nigga. It's everywhere. All over the internet. And it's a lot of clips of Thug speaking specifically on Gunna.
Yeah, Thug's been doing a lot of yapping. I'm sure he's gonna show the clips, but he's been talking about everyone. I can't stop seeing videos and clips of Thug talking about different people. It's crazy.
But this what he did. He made, which they still gotta prove the shit though, which I don't think they gonna ever be able to prove because it's just not a game. He gave the jurors the agreement that it's a game. He said YSL is a game, and he know people in this on this trial who committed crimes in furtherance of the game. That means you did it. You saying, you see what I'm saying? You don't know nobody on this case. That's a lie. That's a full-blown lie. I know individuals on this case that committed crimes in furtherance of the game. Like you killed these people just so you can say Slime did. And you 100% lie. You don't know nobody on the case. I ain't ever committed no crime. Duke ain't committed no crime. Yak ain't committed no crime. They're the only 3 people you know on this case. Ain't now one of them committed no crime. So who the fuck is you talking about? You know YSL members on this case that committed crimes in furtherance of the game. Nigga, you just made it a motherfucking RICO case. You just made it a case. All these charges that they got on everybody in this case, 180 something charges. Ain't now one of these charges showing you that somebody committed a crime in furtherance of a game. That's what they got to prove. They got to prove that these people who killed these people, you did it to make YSL bigger. Not you did it because he shot at you or y'all shot at each other or whatever reason it is. They trying to prove that you did it in furtherance of a game. You did it to make your game bigger. They can't prove no shit like that. Ain't nobody committed no crime to make no game bigger because there ain't no game. You see what I'm saying? So for you to say that, it's just like, boom, and then you got who they say a big dog, other saying it, agreeing to it, pleading guilty to it. You gotta fight you in court, bro. And you lying. That's 100% lie. You don't even know you don't know nobody on that case but me, and the only 3 people you know on the case. So who the you talking about? The folk made you lie. I know you regret it. You hate yourself more than I hate you. Man, you get out of jail, you
I ain't gonna lie, Thug has one of the funniest laughs ever, bro. Like, last clip he was mad so he wasn't laughing, but I hope this guy shows a clip of Thug laughing. His laugh is so high pitched, like oh, it's hilarious.
You smoking some weed, you kicking your shit at your house. A week later, you nigga like, damn man, tripping. That how I supposed to be though. Like, ain't no girl supposed to be man. Like, I really be like that. Like, I wish you don't never get no more. You don't never get another dollar in the world. Like, you don't deserve nothing. You don't deserve nothing. I don't give a about nothing that. Man, you don't deserve nothing. But you voluntarily lied. But you don't know nobody on the case. You did that shit. Get out for a hoe, bro. Listen to a jail calling. Nigga just straight just, damn, man. I love you, baby. What you doing? Man, yeah, I'm gonna be back with you in a minute. Yeah, man. Shit, man, damn, man. Got Nick caught up in this shit. When Nick go to talking like that, all that little type shit, man, watch out.
So, what are these Young Thug phone calls that's coming out? You hearing people say stuff that...
I do music reactions, yeah. I could do it after this video. I got like, how many more minutes? 15-ish? Yeah.
wasn't meant for the world to hear. And so now people looking at Thug and they're like, damn, you was on these phone calls talking a little crazy. And people are starting to point that blame toward Young Thug for why Atlanta is turning on each other. Because we listen to the clips, to be honest, like,
Welcome. Appreciate the follow, big dog. Appreciate the follow, man.
I said, Thug was low-key gossip. He was talking about everybody.
Like I said, I got 15 left, and then, yeah, we're going to check out the video. Right now, we're just watching a video called It's Time to Be Honest About Atlanta. And, like, basically, for some context, you know, Atlanta's been a very, or maybe you don't know, I don't know. But Atlanta's been a very, you know what I'm saying, influential city in hip-hop. And is it right now? I don't know, man. We're going to see.
Talking about the Migos, he was saying the Migos flop. He was talking about QCP. Really everybody. Then Rollo, another artist, would come out and dig into that point, blaming Young Thug for turning the city against each other.
I'm just giving you emphasis from beginning to the end. All he ever did was do lame. The whole is about this doing lame. Then he turned on Rich Homie, tried to turn the whole world against Rich Homie, and then at the same time, before this man death, he told us out his own mouth that it was one of the darkest times in his life. Then he turned around and took the whole world against YFC and Lucci. Whole world. Everybody go against Lucci. Everybody go against, what's that now? Yeah, he tried to turn everybody against Lucci. Now, all these three things is 100%. Everybody can go back and look at this. This ain't from Rollo. Then he turned around, he was beefing with Future, calling my phone. Future, calling Future. Like, going back and forth on him. Boom. Then he turned around, he see Gunna surpassing everything in the industry. Now he called to the street, turn everybody in the world against Gunna. And say, oh, whatever Wham said go against, he turned Wham against Gunna. He turned everybody against everybody. Man, little baby, we go to the dentist. I'm getting my teeth did. Then, you know, little baby walking me home. He happy to see me. He pussy ass old Thug, bitch. Pull another evil slam. Oh, let me call it. Everything that not happening in Atlanta, everybody going against each other. Why? Because his pussy ass. He been doing nothing but whole shit around the wall. He thought he was Pablo Escobar. He sitting there like he John got a song. Nigga, you a street bitch. Nigga, you ain't did nothing in these streets. You ain't put no work. Who to put in all the work? Like, none of you ain't do nothing on your case. So what I'm saying is, all this nigga doing is a bitch, bro.
Damn.
And these Young Thug clips that done came out have been bad.
Hey. The word of today is accountability now. Black folk, rappers, all you good street niggas that's been hating and holding your nuts on the other side for this long. Hey, man, don't be quiet now. And everybody got their hands behind their back. Look here. But one thing we all know is about the word reservation. For those who trying to make the excuses of, oh, but this ain't do this and this ain't lead to that and that wasn't that. Even though this is that and did lead to that and that was definitely that. But when you make a reservation at a restaurant, you make a reservation for a car, you plan to do something, you plan to come back and you plan to show up, and you don't want those people that you made the reservation to feel bad and not trust your word. So if you making a reservation to tell, after you already did some telling, you booked a date to tell furthermore like a concert, y'all can't do that now, don't do that. Shout out to the real.
Friends?
Yo, booking a reservation to tell is crazy, bro. Yo, Thug really told him, hey, take my number and hit me if you need anything, but don't tell the world. And then the world found out. Yo, I can't wait to hear what he says about that. That is still blowing my mind, bro.
No, Sauce Walker had to say that. Snakes and rats are in the same group of the animal kingdom, the scum of the jungle. No honor among snakes and rats. Don't try to switch to a spider now. Your snake skin already exposed. Your fans and kids still want to be slime, or y'all finally understand that message now. These niggas y'all been idolizing and hot-siding me over. LOL, y'all seen the signs years ago and ignored it. Who's lame now? In the streets, a snake is a scavenger just like a rat. If the streets was a jungle, snakes prey on the weak, and the people closest to them with their guards down, double cross, triple cross, no backbone, no loyalty, no principles, is the point of that analogy. And so the fallout from this whole Young Thug situation that sparked up beef between QCP, Quality Control CEO, because Thug was talking down to QCP on the phone. He was basically kind of alluding to the fact that he was a snake and that he was a rat. And so QCP would get online and he would respond to Thug. Imagine some broke ass rats like Thug and Pee Wee Roscoe trying to run a rat narrative on me, and all my niggas that I love run around with these hoe ass niggas knowing how they talk about me. I'm gonna say this for the last time. I'm not no street dude. I'm a tax-paying citizen that's running a business and taking care of my family. All the street dudes broke, dead, and in jail. Why do y'all continue to glorify this? Streets been dead. Y'all give my city a bad name. And by the way, I ain't never been in no courtroom on no man. Sat in the interrogation room, running nobody's name, and I don't speak on the dead, so I don't care enough to explain the situation. Y'all boys the police. Y'all mad because y'all not me. But QCP, he didn't just stop on Thug. He would go from Thug to speaking on Lil Baby. They had their little issues. How New Hip Hop wrote this. Dragged into this mess thanks to one of the many leaked jail calls that made their way to the public. In an alleged conversation with Lil Baby, one of P's clients, Young Thug allegedly warned Lil Baby to be wary of him. Thug even labeled him a rat and then prompted an angry response from P, the one that I just read. Then P and Lil Baby would unfollow each other. And you know how the internet get with that unfollowing stuff. They take it so serious. You see somebody unfollow somebody, niggas immediately think, oh, they beefing, oh, they fell out. We don't even know. We just seen them two unfollow each other, and it's been a big conversation. Hell, 6ix9ine even popped out the cut, coming full force at Thug. Well, coming full force in the industry, and I'm not gonna lie, 6ix9ine got a point. He basically was like, y'all did this to me when I snitched, but y'all not gonna do Young Thug like this when he was on camera speaking on that interrogation footage.
Yo, I just want to know where all the energy at. The Young Thug situation, I stood quiet 2 days just watching it play out. Watching what excuses the people come up with. Every day, every year, every time a nigga come out, y'all move the goalposts further. Oh, nah, bro, it's different. No, it's different, bro. It's different, bro. It's different. You told, like, before 12 in the afternoon, like, that's a forbidden rule. You can't do that. No, bro, it's okay, bro, because he told after 3, like, bro, it's so easy. They tell you have the right to remain silent. Anything you use against you could be used in a court of law, whatever case they say. You have the right to call an attorney right now. You spoke for 2 hours. 2 hours. It's me beating a horse. Like, I'm not saying that. Y'all heard what y'all heard. Why hear everybody quiet? Why Lil Baby, 21 Savage, Future? Why you not saying that?
The idea of picking and choosing. Rollo's the only person who I felt have spoken about this. I do want to hear every street dude's opinion of this, because I ain't gonna lie to you. When it comes to
these dudes, how you gonna say these dudes are street dudes? These are rappers. You know what I'm saying? 6ix9ine done did more crime than these dudes. Why are you? What makes you qualify these dudes as street dudes? You got dudes like P. You got dudes like P that have 100% put in work. What make you think he's a boogeyman? He never got found guilty of nothing. He was not guilty. That's why he was so confident and proud.
So from what I'm hearing though, I don't think he's saying that he didn't tell. He spun the cops.
Oh, he spun the cops? All right, so I spun too. I just spun him at trial. What? like what? I spun him too. I spun him the trial. I spun everybody. I said, oh yeah, look, like what, bro? Come on, like what? Like now? Oh, bro, you didn't tell where he told he told with khakis on, like it's different, bro, because he had khakis on.
I think that's kind of Rollo's point. Though Rollo feel like he got railroaded, maybe because there was other likable people that was saying.
So let me ask you something. So just say you got good music, right? Is it okay to tell because you got good music? Like, I'm not.
In 2025, yes. If you got fire music, you can tell. That's it.
All right, so let me go catch another case. I'm gonna go tell again and come back out and drop some good music and be like, bro, that's the rule, right? That's the rule now. Let me go back and catch another charge. I'm gonna do another comeback Google, right? And be like, yo, bro, my music is fire, bro.
I mean, Rollo, you don't think
that sound?
That's kind of how people look at
it. That sound? Like, let's be serious. Like, you hear how that sound?
Nobody say, I think they should do Thug like they did 6ix9ine. Everybody else laws, normal laws.
Rollo, but here's the difference, though. Here's the difference. Nobody liked 6ix9ine before he got locked up. We loved Thug.
Everybody liked the 6ix9ine.
We loved Thug.
So this is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It was just an excuse. But like I said, bro, let's not make it about me. Let's make it about Pink spider. It went from a snake to a spider. Now he's a rat. You know what I mean? He just You know what I mean? It's changing skins. Like, what's up?
I ain't gonna lie, 6ix9ine funny as hell, bro.
Oh!
And the shit is, bro's not cracking no jokes, bro. He's serious as hell right now.
He transforming.
Then another key player in that whole YSL trial, YSL Woody. If y'all don't remember back during the trial, YSL Woody was the comedian of the trial. You know how niggas got Clash Clown? That was Woody in that courtroom. Every chance he got, he was cracking jokes. He was trolling the judge. Woody was in that courtroom trolling. But at that same time, he was telling. He was doing a little sneaky stuff. And with all this Young Thug stuff coming out, Woody been online basically on some, I told y'all this, and I knew Thug was weird, but I couldn't speak on it. He had a lot to say.
Damn. Everybody's switching on everybody. This is crazy work.
Nothing gonna stop me from loving you, but what you do from this moment forward. I love you. Nothing gonna stop me from loving you, but what you do from this moment forward. You knew not to come on this internet. You knew not to let a nigga like Pee Wee Roscoe get on the internet and do what he did. You let Pee Wee do that. And Pee Wee got you into all this stuff. Pee Wee got on the internet calling people rats. Pee Wee got on the internet saying all he said. Now guess what? He made people mad. People went to dig up the video. Now people don't dig up the videos. You are what you are, buddy. You are officially on the Woody and Charleston White team. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm okay with being a snitch. Because I know what I did. I know what I've been through. But you is a snitch, too. And I ain't happy about it. I'm mad about it. Because I've been knowing this the whole time. And I didn't even say nothing. I sat right here and still let the blame be on me. Because of the love I had for you. But when y'all niggas come out of jail and y'all brought that stupid stuff out of here, I left that stupid stuff in jail. Y'all brought that stupid stuff out here. Yeah, I'm mad about it. I knew it. I knew it. I told all y'all, hey, bro, I did this for y'all because I care about y'all. I didn't have to do that for y'all because y'all just fought for y'all life and y'all had the world cheering for y'all. Y'all had the world cheering for y'all. Y'all had the world saying, free y'all. Everybody guilty, even me. Everybody guilty, even me.
Bombo
Everybody guilty. And y'all come out of jail after God gave y'all another chance. I ain't do it. The lawyers ain't do it. Prosecutors ain't did it. The judge ain't did it. God did it. God bless y'all with a wonderful judge. They went by the books. There's no way in the world y'all supposed to be in front of that judge. No way. But God said, I'm going to give y'all another chance. And I might be failing. But one thing I know about God know my intentions. He know I ain't on here to cause problems. Future ain't known to be on none of this, what this that we on. Future is known to be about his paper. And if you can see, Future don't have nothing but hope problems. Cause that's what he do. He gonna run through them. He gonna, you know what I mean, give Future credit when he do. Who you think told the most out of all y'all? I don't care. I don't care who told the most.
And not only that, like last night, or it might have been the night before that, Woody ended up getting in a real bad car accident. Like he was on a motorcycle, he flipped a bike, he messed himself up. Y'all can go see it, I can't show it on YouTube, but that man is in the hospital right now. He got neck brace on and all of that, which is unfortunate that happened as all of this was going on, but I think he good now. But you know, these phone calls didn't just cause street problems, didn't just cause Atlanta problems, it kind of threw whole industry problems on the table. So Thug knew that these calls was being recorded, but apparently he didn't give a damn because he was on there speaking about any and everything. He should have been talking about this kind of stuff in person. Thug would get on these phone calls, openly talk about buying his album, talking about how Gunna bought his album to beat out The Weeknd a couple years ago. Thug was basically openly chatting about buying his album. He was like, bro, y'all got the plug. I need y'all to pull them numbers up for my album so I can look good.
I said nobody has ever put out 2 #1 albums from jail. Obviously, hopefully you're out by it first, you know what I'm saying? But if you weren't, like, that would be historic. And even if Uzi moves, we still have to deal with Morgan Wallen because he's doing 100,000 every week, no matter what.
Who?
Morgan Wallen, the country guy.
Yeah, but this nigga doing, why didn't we think to put him on the album? Like, what?
I mean,
You think we're gonna beat the boy?
yo, my man, I'm not going to sleep until we beat him. So whatever happens.
I'll tell you,
whatever happened. So
Beat
it's
the boy,
like, okay,
beat the boy, then tell the boy you can't beat me, join me.
that's iconic.
Get on this song, young boy. Everything
You know what I mean?
Man.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's try to beat that nigga. You still got that plug, right? You still got you still got that plug?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
All right, boy.
Yeah.
Cash called me one day like, hey, where you going? I'm gonna who speaks for him? I'm like, wow. I'm like, oh, nah. So he trying to get signed right here with Weekend signed it. So I already done told him like, whatever you want, just say it. I'm gonna give you the money, whatever you want. Nigga, I know you can't go nowhere in this world and get no $20 million check from no label. You're not doing nothing like that. You alright, but you ain't doing nothing like that. The number one album you just had right now, I paid you to have a number one album. You didn't, you know what I'm saying, honestly earn a number one album over the weekend, my boy. I paid you. I never said that to him. I never told him that. You know, cause we just got the plug on that. You never earned the number one album. I spent $50 extra grand buying streams, $50,000 buying streams for you. And Cash know the same plug, so Cash should have did the same thing. But Cash like let it go. Cash just like sat down like, man, let him go on the win. I ain't spending shit. He did a little deal. He got some little signs, some good, whatever. Some young niggas too. These niggas like 17, 18, like real kids, baby.
And the internet not dumb, right? We know everything we listen to is being botted. It's some bot put behind it. What the hell do you think these labels is here for? More than likely, if you're listening to an artist under a label, they gonna have bots. That's just how the industry go. I done said this 100 times, but I think just hearing an artist talk about it, how casually Young Thug was talking about it, makes it way worse. Then the context of these clips coming out when Atlanta is already in shambles, now niggas is looking like, not only is this city going against each other, but are y'all numbers even real? Are these sales even real? But you know how the internet get with these narratives. You know how the internet get the, making things seem. Point is, everything that done come out been a horrible look for everybody involved on every side. Atlanta is looking real rough right now. Like, Atlanta done been at the top for a real long time, for so many years now. And for the first time in really a long time, we seen Atlanta be challenged, mainly by itself. Will people be their own downfall? I don't know. Because Atlanta is still Atlanta at the end of the day, and they will always have a spot in the game, but is it as tight as it once was? What place do y'all think really running hip-hop right now? Or what's next behind Atlanta?
Damn, that's a very good question. That's actually exactly what I was finna ask. Like, who's next behind Atlanta, or like, what's happening next? Honestly, if I were to say, my personal opinion is the West Coast, man. I really like West Coast music, but again, a lot of West Coast stuff is underground, so I don't know if they're really next, to be honest.
All right, yeah. I'm getting gritty on these niggas. I'm getting gritty on these bitches. Here we go, now they talking again. Yeah. I'm getting gritty on these niggas. I'm getting gritty on these bitches. Here we go, now they talking again. I'm getting gritty on these niggas. I'm getting gritty on these bitches.